All right, and we are live. Hopefully try to wait for some folks to show up. I see we got one viewer watching so far. Shout out to that one viewer. God bless you. Um, if we get a second viewer, we'll get the show started. If not, we'll just start the show. Um,
You're the lucky viewer tonight. You get
I
the
know,
show
right?
for
The,
yourself.
the one viewer watching, we appreciate you. God bless you. Chime in the chat. Appreciate you being here. Let us know you're present. All that good stuff. Um, So yeah, I guess we can just go ahead and start the show. So, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Age of Men podcast. We are back like we never left. Last week we had a phenomenal show. We are back again with some brand new stuff, more things to talk about, lots of things to talk about. So we appreciate you guys for being here. God bless you guys. Um, Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed. If you're not subscribed, do share this out with your friends, your family, acquaintance, co-workers. Share this out on your social media platforms and tag our names right here at the bottom, as you guys see today with Julius and Sick. It definitely helps us out. And comment below what you guys think on the topics of today. We're going to be talking about Steve Harvey and why he says men should not question what women bring to the table. We're going to be doing a little segment called Ridiculous Reactions, where we kind of just react to Instagram videos. They're ridiculous, but we thought it was a good catchy name. Shout out to Nick for that idea. We're also going to be talking about Trump's deposition, specifically about his comments on the grab him by the kitty cat, that comment that was made back in 2005 that people were like so hell-bent on for the whole entire of his presidency, and also to the case itself. So I also have the article I have that article to read and kind of go over that a little bit as well. And we're also going to be talking about Jordan Neely. Kind of just, I don't, because Nick knows about it, but Nick, you said you weren't really up to speed with Jordan Neely and whatnot. Yeah.
Not really. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll definitely catch Nick up to speed and kind of talk about that and get his take and my take as well. So all that and more, and make sure you guys are following us on social media platforms. Instagram, today with Julius, and as you see, C3 Nick. Make sure you guys are following us on Instagram. If you guys want to be a guest on the show, you can always DM us on Instagram at Age of Men Podcast on Instagram. So follow us, Say with Julius, C3 Nick, and also follow us, Age of Men Podcast. So appreciate you guys for being here. And again, God bless you all. And let's just, well, first and foremost, Nick, I got to ask you, man, because I don't think the folks have seen us just like this in a very long time. Every show we've had previously, we've always had guests. So how are you doing?
I'm doing well. A night of no sleep, but no rest for the wicked out here, bro. I'm ready for the age of men.
Likewise, man. Likewise. It's a man's world, right? As they say. So once again, we appreciate you guys. So let's just jump right into it. We're going to start with the Steve Harvey, right? So this comes from Instagram with the Steve Harvey. So if you guys don't know, Steve Harvey is a comedian, actor, and he's now a talk or TV show host of the primetime show Family Feud. Fantastic show. I love this show. I have the app on my phone. I play it to keep my mind sharp. Just something to pass the time. You know what I mean? I like playing it. It's fun. But he was interviewed by Shannon Sharp, which I believe Shannon Sharp is a sports commentator. He did a interview with Steve Harvey, and Steve Harvey was talking about how men shouldn't be questioning women on what they bring to the table. So as you guys can see right here, this is coming from Red Pill Rants on Instagram. It says, Uncle Steve says, women do not need to bring anything to the table. So we're going to jump right into that and watch that video and talk about that. And also I want you guys to comment what you guys think about this video once we play and talk about it. So again, appreciate you guys. God bless.
That's what's wrong with this generation today. These young boys today, what do she bring to the table? The hell you mean, man? What do your ass bring to the table? You got a woman that can come to the table that can make another you. What else she need to slide up to the table with? What about your job? What happened to men who were supposed to be responsible? Do you know that it's our job to take care of a woman and some children, to have a family? That's our damn job. What's wrong?
Interesting. So, Nick, when you see something like that, what is your first thoughts on Steve saying that, when she comes to the table, she's making another you? What does she have to bring? It's our responsibility to take care of the women and children. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, right on its face, I think man and woman are needed to create another you. Correct me if I'm wrong. Secondly, he's kind of answering the question in his question. He's saying that men need to protect and provide for these women. That's what men are supposed to bring to the table. That's what women are looking for from a man. And third of all, frankly, well, most of all, really for me, I just simp beta. It's just written all over it. I can't. It makes me almost nauseous hearing men like this.
Interesting. What makes him a beta for simply saying that? Basically, he's saying that from what it sounds like, women doesn't need to bring much besides, just help her to make you. So why would that make him a beta male to say, essentially they have to bring nothing? It's our responsibility to do everything.
So there is a partial truth in there that he's saying that could be a good message. Obviously, men should be focusing on what do they do, what do they provide, what do they bring to the table. Yeah, that's a good message. However, you're completely removing any accountability from the partner, the other side of the other half. So she just gets to exist, and because of that, the man's supposed to do everything. What is his message? I don't even understand.
Yeah, that's interesting, and you're right. To be transparent, I will agree that there is some truth there. A man's responsibility is to obviously provide, protect. That's what we do. We work hard to make sure that our wives and children are taken care of. So I do agree with that. But to act like, again, the woman just needs to exist, and this isn't a bash on women. I'm just simply going off of what Steve was saying about she's just there to make another you. So it's like she's there to exist so that you can be better, I'm guessing. So, we hear all the time that men and women complement each other. There is no, one has to do more than the other as far as the complementary, because each bring something valuable. Again, like women, they bring the nurturing, they bring, for example, they might be good with finances. When you guys get married, she can handle the money and things like that. That's always, you guys are a team.
You can certainly spend it.
I know. Yeah, no, but I mean, but we're supposed to be complimentary, and when Steve does take that accountability away from the woman, to me, it makes me think of his book that he wrote years ago when he said, "Think like a man, act like a lady." I would argue that that's one of the factors, maybe one of the factors why women have a more masculine trait, if you will. It's because of books like Think Like a Man, Act Like a Lady. So when you kind of push that narrative and you're saying they don't need to do anything, they're there to make another you, it's almost like saying that men are nothing without women. So what does that really say about the men that Steve is talking about? He's saying it's our responsibility, but at the same time, he's saying without her, there is no other you. So it's almost like we exist, but with an empty void until we fill that void with a woman. I don't think I like that message very much. You know what I mean?
No.
We're supposed to be complementary, not one or above each other,
It's supposed to be a mutual value exchange, okay? Men bring things to the table that the women aren't necessarily born adept at, and likewise, women do for men. And it's supposed to be a value exchange to some extent, right? That's what a relationship is.
What do you mean by men bring things to the table that women are not born to do? Like, what do you mean by that? If you don't mind elaborating on that.
Yeah. Well, I'll say not that they're not born to do, but they're not adept at naturally. Like,
okay.
Men are the protectors and the providers typically. If somebody breaks into your house, you would want your man to stand up and to defend you guys, right? And then women on the converse side are typically much better nurturers. I think that's adept to them, where it's much more foreign to us men. And they're a great complementary pair. But when I hear something like this, man, it feels like it's not too far of a step away from kind of like a believe all women kind of rhetoric. It's just like women are inherently perfect or whatever. They don't have to do nothing. They don't have to have any accountability or provide any value. They're the table. You ever heard that expression? Like, it's not what you bring to the table. The woman is the table.
I know that's why I captioned it on the thumbnail. Women are the table. That's essentially what he was saying. Like, she is the table. You just gotta sit there, kind of thing. And it's like I don't like that. It's funny because you said men, when something happens to the family, the man's there to provide, right? So I was gonna say men protect the family. Women go down to the school boards. I was kidding. No, hey, God bless the mama bears, right? As they say. So I appreciate them. They're always going hard in the school board, bro. I appreciate that. So God bless them for doing that. Yeah, man, it's interesting stuff. I think that in this society, I do think that there's so much of a disconnect, maybe, especially with the red pill movement. Not to knock the red pill or anything like that, but it's just like there's such a disconnect to where now we're even getting to a point, and I want to show you this tweet too real quick. We're getting to a point now where, now mind you, a little context behind this tweet. That supposedly it was a troll. This is a tweet from Rollo Tomasi, and this was a tweet that he tweeted out. He was responding to a woman talking about parenting conservatives. And the reason why I bring this up is because I'm talking about the disconnect, right? And so he had that supposedly he was trolling on. I've seen people talk about that as if that's what it is. Then I heard YouTuber Sneeko debate Fresh and Fit. He was debating Myron on the fact that men should get vasectomies in their 20s and whatnot. And so when I hear these type of rhetorics, like Steve Harvey saying women don't need to do anything, and then the other side saying, well, that's the cake of the vasectomy, where is the connect at? You know what I mean? Like, how are we supposed to have a legacy, a foundation, if we're constantly disconnected from one another, by women not having to do anything, by men should have to get the vasectomy so they can sleep around? Where is the connection at? Aside from building yourself up, where is the connect to actually have a legacy of sons who have more sons and more sons and more sons? You get what I'm saying? So it's definitely an interesting time to be alive in 2023 with all this going on. So let me go to the tweet real quick. Here it is right here. So again, this was Rollo Tomasi's tweet. This was on May 2nd. Let me pull up the video link. And also, too, for you guys watching, again, appreciate you guys for tuning in. What's up, K-Train? What's up, Nikki? What's up, Loca? What's up, Charlie? What's going on, guys? Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, my friend gave it to me. So real quick, this shirt was given to me by a friend who's been following me on Instagram for quite some time. It says, Jesus is King. I'm definitely
full screen, Julius. Let them see you. Let them see you.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let me do this real quick. Let me pull back and there you go. It says Jesus is King. Definitely a great shirt. Has a little crown right here on the eye. Definitely a good shirt. I'm gonna take a picture with this sometime this week and advertise it and give him a shout out so people can go to his page. And he has his own website too, so I'm gonna definitely give him a shout out for sure. So
he has his text popping too, huh, ladies?
I don't know all that, man. It's all an illusion, like magic. It's all an illusion. It's not sleight of hand. It's sleight of chess.
Hey, you people in the comments, Julius is actually quite the magician. Actually, he's like a sorcerer or something. If you guys ever want to see some of his tricks at the end of a show or something, you guys let us know in the chat or in the comments.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll do like one card trick. Maybe like once a month I'll do like a card trick or something like that.
It'll blow your freaking minds, guys. Be careful.
So this is what I was like kind of tied in to the disconnect as far as male and female today. So this was a tweet by Rollo Tomasi. Rollo Tomasi, he's on YouTube. He goes by the Rational Male on YouTube. He's been doing podcasts and talking about male and female dynamics for like a very long time. I think he has like a book out too as well. I think you actually told me that you read some of his books, Nick. Yeah.
One of them was called The Rational Male. I forget the other two that I read some of, but he was red pill before red pill was a thing.
Yeah, yeah. I would argue people like him and Richard Cooper, even Alpha Male Strategies. I think they were all before. How do you say they were all ahead of the curve, if you will?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
so this is a tweet from Richard V. Reeves. He was talking about debating marriage and fatherhood a lot with thoughtful conservatives. One of my key points is that married parents plan to become parents together, which I think most people would agree makes all the difference for stability. Rates of unattended births, and she has this link right here, the stats of births to married mothers are less likely to be unattended. So obviously it shows married, not married, and then not married, not cohabitating, things like that. And then he responds and says, the quickest path to becoming a high value man, number one, do not get married. Number two, avoid family creation. So he's basically saying avoid procreation. Number three, vasectomy in your 20s. Number four, lift consistently, like go to the gym. Number five, eliminate all sedation. Number six, learn game and networking. Number seven, play to your strengths and build wealth. Number eight, resist easing up on your focus. And so I saw this tweet and I was like, vasectomy. Like, I understand people don't want to get married. I get that. But if you want to have a legacy, you're going to have to procreate. So one and two kind of like, yeah, people might feel different about that. But I'm focusing more on the vasectomy part, vasectomy in your 20s. So then I saw that Lauren Chin, a conservative commentator who commented on this and said, your bloodline is weak and ends with you. And Zuby, musical artist, tweets back and says, he's been married for decades with children. You're being trolled. And I clicked on it to see if Rollo Tomasi responded, and he did. And his response was all too easy. So it looks like he was trolling. But then I saw a video where Sneeko was debating Myron about men getting vasectomies and why they should. So Myron on Fresh and Fit, there are podcasts out there on YouTube. They've been doing it for like a few years now. Now they've blown up because of viral videos on Instagram and TikTok and things like that. So Myron was saying that men should get vasectomies when they're younger so they can sleep around, things like that, so they don't have any accidental pregnancies, things like that. Then when they get older, they can reverse it to get the family and things like that. I disagree with that. I don't think that's the right way to go because vasectomies they're not easy. You can't just snap a finger or press a button and bam, or flip a switch and bam, all of a sudden you got a vasectomy and then just wish it to come back whenever you wanted to. That's not how that works. There's time, there's money, I mean, so I was told that some men in the military can get it for free, but that's few and far between. The average man can't just go to the hospital and get a vasectomy. So to argue that, I was like, that's a little bit weird from the red pill. If that's making its rounds around the red pill community saying that men should get vasectomies, I just disagree with that. Why not preach abstinence rather than vasectomy? Why not say don't have sex and go work on yourself, build your business or build your whatever you're doing, whether you have a job, save money, build on that, work on your passion. And then when you want to decide to, go down that line of getting married with children, now you can do that once you got yourself squared away. I don't understand why we have to go the vasectomy route, because to me, that's a pro-choice argument. Pro-choicers say that all the time. They always say, why don't men just get vasectomies? Because they get upset because they say that women should close their legs. So they say, well, I'm just going to vasectomy. And it's like, how about you guys just don't have sex at all? And you both just work on yourselves. And then when the time is right, you get together. It's that simple. I just didn't understand.
I lost you for a second. Yeah, you back?
Oh, yeah. No, I was done. I was just seeing what you thought about all that. Sorry.
No, man, you're good. Hey, what's up, Amy? Thanks for joining us. Yeah, you always hit me with some bombs. Like, folks, when Julius hits me with this stuff on the air, just so you know, like, we don't go over this ahead of time. I have no idea the vasectomy thing is a hot take.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, do you think that it's better for men to get a vasectomy just so they can sleep around while trying to be a high value man?
Absolutely not. Just you're trusting way too much of like modern medicine to be able to pull off something that's literally stopping your ability to procreate, whatever that entails. Like,
Yeah.
it's cutting it off, and then you're expecting it to be able to be resumed. How about, call this controversial, but don't be having sex with anybody that you aren't willing to and capable of conceiving a child with.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, too, I mean, again, whether he's trolling or not, there's still this argument to be made that I saw in the red pill space. So if there are men who are saying get vasectomies in your 20s, I just don't see how that is, I guess, feasible, if you will. Because if men are supposed to be building themselves up, especially in their 20s, so by the time they're in their 30s, 40s, they've hit that plateau. Why then have men chase tail in their 20s? Wouldn't that distract them from building themselves up?
Great question.
I
Yeah.
don't. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro.
No, I was going to say I disagree with that.
Well, it seems like they're trying to have workarounds rather than actually be like focused on a foundation that you can be proud of as a man. It's like everything that the red pill tries to claim, they're falling short of now. It's like total frauds. They claim that they're all about men or whatever. Well, it sounds to me almost more or less like the opposite side, which is the feminist ridiculous shit. It's like they're trying to have their cake and eat it too. And they're now coming up with more and more absurd ways to try to do that rather than just owning and preaching the idea of being responsible.
Yeah. It's like they're trying to work around rather than wrap around, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Or wrap it up, for that matter. They want to.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's what I mean, though. It's like, what is wrong with preaching abstinence? Like, look, I understand. You know, there are men who think that men should sleep around with about 50 women in order to. But to me, it's like, I'm not. Look, do what you want, and it's your life, whatever. Knock it out of the park. I don't care. But it's just one of those things where it's just like, I would argue that even if a man does do that, like let's say he sleeps with dozens of chicks, right? That's still going to be a detriment down the line. Cause I mean, like, he'll get with that last girl, and if she don't do it with the last girl did, it's like there's expectation on both sides. You know what I mean? So the last girl might have not been the right chick, but man, she did this one little thing and it drove him crazy. And now the chick that he's with now, he may like her, but she ain't driving him crazy. You get what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with women. It's like they date all these different dudes. That's why I don't get when women tell women, you're 19 trying to get married. Oh, you're too young. You shouldn't be doing this. You should be having experience. Like, what do you mean? You want to get ran through? So you can't get mad when men call you hoes when you're telling women to be hoes. Have experience first and then find the right guy. Get ran through and then don't get ran through. So it's like, we're just creating hoes, man. Both male and female are just creating hoes. It's like the red pill says we don't want hoes, but then sleep with 50 women. Women say we're not hoes, but get experience before you settle down.
But run through all these hoes, yeah, and basically create more by acting that way. It removes all accountability from the man side. It strikes me as these men, for reasons unbeknownst to me, but it's very self-evident, are bitter. They're bitter towards women. And now they're they looked at women as like, oh, they got to get away with whatever. They get all this attention. They blah, 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 just because they were born hot women. And I didn't get any of that. In fact, all these women kind of looked the other way or talked bad about me, looked down at me, whatever. Now that I'm starting to get somewhere where I can kind of get some attention as a man because I've kind of built myself up, I want that experience that the women have always had. And the women be damned because they already had that experience. So I don't care. I don't care if I'm being hurtful or whatever. Too bad. Sorry, ladies, your time has passed.
I don't know if I'll say, I guess bitter. I don't know. I don't want to say it's bitter. Maybe some are. I don't know. I think it's just more of the fact that And look, maybe I'm not saying you're wrong. It could be better. I'm just saying I think I would slightly disagree that I don't think it's bitter. I just think that we're in a time where for so long men have been told treat her like a lady, open up doors for her, be nice, and this and that. Then we do all those things, and then it backfires, right? So I'm saying I understand what they're saying, but maybe it is bitterness because in a way it comes off like everything you're mad about women about, you want the same things. So and then everything you complain about, you end up becoming the same thing. I'm a firm believer when you hate something, you become like what you hate. So if men hate the things that women do, but they end up becoming the very same thing that they hate women to do, it's like how do you find that balance, right? Now one could say at the whole sleeping around thing, right? They say sex is different between male and female, which I would agree. There is a difference, right? There's more of an emotional connect versus a physical connect. I know most might say, well, not really. Men do get emotional as well. Maybe, but I would argue it's really just more of a, I guess, pump and dump for men. Whereas with women, it's like an emotional connection because you allow this man to enter inside of you. So now you don't want to feel like you just slept with him. You want to kind of keep him around a little bit to not give off that you're just a hoe. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, not only that, in nature, women have long-term consequences that are going to come from sex. Like you're going to get pregnant, and you're going to be carrying that child to term. And then, if you're a half-decent person, you would raise it or make sure that you saw it right. Males in nature don't have that same responsibility. Males can pump and dump, literally, like you said. And I'm not saying that's right either, but I'm just saying for that, on its face, yeah, men and women would be approaching sex differently because of that.
yeah,
Our nature.
yeah. But I would still say that it's just still weird. But again, as far as like sleep this and that, it's like you tell men to sleep around in their 20s, tell women to sleep around in their 20s, and now everybody's sleeping with somebody. By the time they get older, it's like their peak don't find women because all the women are sleeping around with all the men. So it almost comes off like a psyop. Like this whole thing is a psyop to keep families apart, to destroy the nuclear family by nuking the family. You get what I'm saying?
It's
So
interesting you say that because you know me, man. That's my forte. I didn't want to bring it up, but now that you mentioned it, when you said the third one, the vasectomy thing, I started thinking to myself, how do you justify that unless like you're a population reductionist or something?
yeah, I always call it Operation Depopulation.
Ah,
So I think that's always the agenda. I mean, if you look at how they push the LGBT, how they push, within the LGBT, the T part, the trans and things like that. Now you got people like Dylan Mulvaney, and I heard that if you speak about that on YouTube, they cut you off. It's crazy. I've seen.
he didn't say anything. We love Dylan Mulvaney over here, YouTube.
Count me out. No.
No homo. No
Yeah.
homo.
Pray for all the people though at the end of the day. But with people like that, right? It's like they're trying to normalize that, even on the right with people like Blair White. I forget his real name. I always forget his real name, but whatever his real name is, he called himself now Blair White. Even when he took a picture of himself holding a gun, it was like a thirst trap. And I've seen conservatives kind of joke around and be like, I kind of would. I'm like, bro, that's the point. They're trying to get you to, even just jokingly, they want you to kind of normalize that behavior. Like, I don't know. She do look, you know what I'm trying to say?
Wait,
So
what are you talking about with it?
Blair White, the guy who transitioned to a woman, he took a picture like a month or two ago of him holding the gun, wearing a bikini, right? And I saw conservatives in the comments saying like, there's this new phrase where they say "would," as in like I would do it. So I saw that and I was like, that's what I'm talking about. They're trying to normalize men who look like that and get implants where they wear a bikini with a gun and they look like a woman. It's going to make a man kind of tilt his head and maybe kind of think twice about, I don't know, maybe this does look good. You see what I'm saying? Now they got these weird thoughts in their head like, wait, oh my god, am I really? No, I like women. It's like such a confusion. So to bring it back full circle with Steve Harvey, I just disagree with Steve Harvey that women are just there to make a better you. I think there's a lot more that women should bring. You know what I mean? Because women today do want a man that is financially successful. They want that. Even when they say things like, even when they say things like, he doesn't have to have much as long as he's loyal, right? Which would tie in. Now I'm going to segue to ridiculous reactions. So let me show you this video real quick. I saw on YouTube, which is pretty funny actually. This was about. So do you know who Value Entertainment is, Nick?
Yeah, I think I've come across them.
So Sauce had this video where he was asking the models, or I think the athletes, the sports athletes, how much do they want their man to make? And I thought the answers were very interesting. I think it's like a 6-minute long video, but very, very interesting what their answers were. And it was pretty funny. So once my computer loads, we're going to definitely
hey, Julius, your co-host in crime here has your back. While it's loading, question for you. Hypothetical scenario. Let's say you start becoming, intimate, kissing or whatever with a woman, and it's going further in your mind. And all of a sudden, when the clothes come off, you come to realize, dude looks like a lady. That's a man that seduced you in. What do you do?
Are you? You're saying this? This just sounds gross. You're saying that. First and foremost, let me make sure I understand you correctly. So you're saying that I meet a woman, and then we're in the kissing part, and it starts to lead to something more. Next thing you know, are you saying like are you saying what happens when that happens? Like what would I do when that happens?
Yeah, somebody deceived you. Some man that seems like a woman on the surface or something deceived you into kissing and nearly getting intimate as you could be with him before you came to realize, because you were getting intimate, that it's a man.
Well, first and foremost, I'll be honest with you. I can tell even before it even gets to that at all. I can just tell.
I hear you, but they're getting crazier and crazier now. The Adam's apple used to be a tell-all, but I hear they're taking that out now. Who knows? Just hypothetical.
Well, listen, there used to be a time when people used to ask, are you vaccinated? Now I'm going to start asking women, are you a woman?
Hey, you can't even ask that, because they'll say this is the end all be all for that conversation. Were you born with XX chromosomes?
Yep. And yeah,
you get a good answer for sure.
It's like, what are you trying to say? Aha! You know what? Have a good night. Don't want to talk about this.
I'll tell you what I would do in that situation. I hope it was worth it, because to deceive me, it's wrong to make somebody go straight or gay against their will. Yeah. And if you deceived me into doing that, I hope it was worth it, because you're fucking dead.
Yeah. I'm just saying, dude.
Hope it was worth it, because I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
Unalive you, whatever YouTube allows us to say out here. But yeah, hypothetically, obviously.
You're going to get your revenge, just to put it like that. You're going to get your revenge.
That'll be the last feel-good jolly you ever get, because you're dead after that.
Yeah, I'm curious.
No exaggeration. That's such an egregious.
Yeah. So what's up, Sunseed? Amy says, be careful out there, guys. Catfishing at a whole new level. It really is. Honestly, when I'm out there, I can tell when I'm talking to a woman. Like, I can just tell. But, man, these days, it is getting crazy to a point where you can't even tell, man. It's almost like, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when somebody has the power to shapeshift, and you're trying to, like, catch that person because they did something wrong, and they shapeshift, and you look around, you don't know who they are. Like, you just look at everybody like, who is this person? That's kind of.
I'll kill them all, Julius. At that point,
nuke them all. They all die. Wait! I'm the one. Look at my neck. Like, all right.
That's a shoot first, ask questions later kind of situation for me.
Nuke first, ask questions later.
And by the way, we got to come up with a new term for catfishing. It's because cat's like a woman, like pussy. Obviously, what would be like the male equivalent of catfishing? Dog fishing. But that's
I mean, men are called dogs, right? So there you go, dog fishing. That's a new one, dog fishing, dude. Yeah. So ladies, be careful with dog fishing. Men be careful with catfishing. All right.
You see what Amy said? Some states are letting them change their birth certificates.
Ooh, that means on their IDs, even worse. Yeah. Man. But that's crazy. Yeah, that's the question. Are you XX? That's gotta be the question. Are you XX? But then they can lie like, yeah, why?
Yeah, they'll have to lie through that, but any other way they could literally spin it and it's not a lie because they claim gender is a construct and all that stuff. So they'll just say, I'm a woman, or whatever. Were you born with an XX chromosome or not?
Yeah. Oh, you know what though? This can be actually that as well. But I think to avoid that, you have to just basically start asking leftist questions like, would you vote for Trump or Biden? And then they say, why you say that? Like, or something where that makes them triggered so you know that they're on that side to avoid it. So even if it is a woman or if it's not, you ask those questions to know where they stand. And that's how you can determine, you know what, this ain't for me. In case she is a man.
Yeah, a beta, a bitch, they're all the same to me. No good.
So here is the video of a Valuetainment Money who's asking sports athletes, female sports athletes, what they want in a man, and I think it's interesting to me. So again, the video's, I don't know if it's 6 minutes long, but I think it's like 10 minutes. Nonetheless, it's a good video though, so we'll check this out.
Let it roll, bro. Yeah.
Minimum amount of money you would like your man to make a year?
I think 6 figures and above. As long as you skip the matrix.
Okay, skip the matrix. I got Andrew Tate over here in the house. Volleyball.
Hold on, I'm trying. There we go.
The sexiest event on the planet, and we here at Valuetainment are talking to the hottest models in the world on what they're looking for in a man, relationship, lifestyle, and of course, money. Let's get it. What amount of money you would like your man to make a year?
$0 as long as he's driven.
How much?
Well, I wouldn't want a 6-figure guy that was a douchebag, so I'm gonna stick with $0 nice guy. I don't need you to make any.
Before we go into the next one, let's talk about that. We're going to keep the video going, but let's talk about that real quick. She says $0 as long as he's a nice guy. You think, or you think she's being genuine?
Almost certainly not, but I like the answer. I like the thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, the internet it's buffering real quick. What is going on with the internet? It is like buffering on both
Speaking
sides.
of the Matrix, they're trying to attack the age of men. What else?
I'm telling you, man, they want the age of men. They want to de-age the men. So
they want to manage the age of men. Man-age.
I'm telling you. So yeah, I won't go too much on this because we just saw that one little small clip. But she says $0 as long as he's a nice guy, right? I often have heard that response from women before, as a man don't really need much as long as he treats me right, as long as he's loyal. But there's always a word, and I want to know if you know this word. There's always a word that women say a lot, right? They'll say a lot. Yes, driven, and it starts with an A.
Advancing, or what are you getting at?
Ambition.
Ambitious, yeah. So
That's
the
where
way
they are
while you're building, but not forever.
Yeah.
You gotta go somewhere with it. And honestly, I respect them for that. I'm not disrespecting women for this.
Yeah.
Like they need a provisioner, a provider. They need to see that you have some ambition. So that makes total sense to me. I don't even hate on that.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, people have their preferences, they have their standards. It's totally fine. I do think that sometimes they get a little bit peeved when they say he didn't have to have no money, but as long as he's ambitious. But ambitious equals money. So you want him to have money. Yeah, you want him to have money, but I think they don't want to flat out say it and not look like a gold digger.
Well,
you know what I mean?
In my experience, they want to see that you're on your way to being some sort of success.
Yeah.
I think that's what the ambitious is. Like I've had plenty of quality women, if you ask me and my friends or whoever, like when I had nothing, no money, but I always have been ambitious and whatnot. So they could see something in me that they were willing to hitch their wagon to and try to help build up,
So is it really $0, or are they just afraid to say money is not be a gold digger?
Well, yeah, you're probably right. And again, I don't fault women for wanting that from men.
Yeah.
Just like I don't fault men for necessarily wanting a low mileage woman.
Yeah, more classy women. Yeah, classy, not trashy. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I don't fault women for wanting like to see that in their man because it shows you provision, which is a big part of wanting a mate as a woman.
And also, too, you pass that down to your children too as well, because they see you driven and they have a drive as well. So
right.
Can't have a drive if you have no keys, right? So
Hey Julius, real quick, are you able to make the video any bigger so that we don't see those like all on the sides?
Oh yeah. I got you.
Also, my screen's kind of small. I don't know if anybody else is dealing with that at home, but
there we go. All right, it's cool.
Perfect.
Right,
cool. Julius, are you able to make that bigger? That's what she said.
You know what's funny? Actually, I could. I can actually do this if this is easier for people.
Good call. Yeah.
Do like this right here. So we'll go ahead and play from here.
Keep it rolling.
At the end of the day, honestly, loyalty and honesty and compassion like that is worth more than any amount of money in the bank.
Okay, so if you had a loyal, compassionate, honest, broke boyfriend, how would you feel?
They'd be adding value to my life with those qualities, so I don't really need the money at the end of the day.
Really? Hold on. You're okay with your man no money?
As long as he is working towards something. Because I could be dating someone in medical school who's going to be a surgeon and they're broke. I don't care what the cap is. I care that they have a passion that they're going to work for.
You're attracted to ambitious guys.
Yeah.
Got it.
I personally don't think I could put like a number on it. If I love someone, I love someone. There could be a situation where, they might just be starting out on their own business and they might not even have anything.
So is there a number in mind that you're like, I'd like him to make at least this?
No, because how can you put like a certain number on that?
If I'm in love with you, it doesn't matter what you make.
Oh, okay. So there's no number?
I mean, is money a bonus? Yeah, but I don't know. I don't have a number.
I know the answer to this question.
I feel like I would like my man to be a little bit established. I'd like him to have some kind of drive. And often people who have drive
Just
and
answer the question.
do have a higher income. So you just gotta be looking for the right people, and you'll have all the boxes checked.
I think they should have enough money for
Okay,
themselves.
we're gonna pause it right there and discuss this. So, like I was said, just answer the question. It's like he asks a question, he gives his whole life story, his background story, his plot, the second act, the third act, and then in the movie, the credits.
But then it's still not going to answer the question directly by the end of all that.
I know. Yeah, so I agree with you, Nick. I don't fault women for wanting their man to be established. I got no problem with that because I think, to me, as men, I think you should be established, not just for a particular person, but for yourself, because you want to have a roof over your head, clothes on your back, a car to drive, or even a bike to ride, something that gets you around, that keeps you mobile, right? So it's good to have those ambitions. It really is. It's good to have a drive. But I kind of just find it laughable, not like I'm laughing at the women, but I'm laughing with them because, again, they don't want to just answer flat out, hey, I want a man who makes this much money. Because when it comes to, if you're going to get married to the guy, you're going to need some finances to put down for a house or a nice, decent apartment if you want kids, things like that. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with just saying how much you want your man to make. Now, I get it. If you want to be modest and be humble, totally okay with that. I get that. You want to be kind of more on the humble side. I don't know if I call it politically correct. Maybe it is. But, you try to be humble, try to be modest. He doesn't have to make no money at all. As long as he treats me right, it's all good. But you have to have ambition. Cha-ching. You see what I'm saying? So it's wild.
There has to be money in the bank. There has to be an investment that she's making. She's not just going to be with a deadbeat forever. Somebody who's not making money. But yeah, check out Sunseed's comment, which I think you were going to get to.
Yeah, she said the thing with the feminine is that they are both answers, deep enough love to say it doesn't matter, but also wise about that there is a number and it's situational. So and that's what I mean. I think it's okay for her to say, I will, because sometimes you really just don't know the exact number, you know what I mean? But you do want your man to be able to make something that shows that he's going to keep building from that. And I'm totally okay with that. But I just find the dance around just a little bit kind of, it's like, I just want him to be loyal as long as you know what I mean? It's just like, just answer the question. It reminds me of that scene from Dumb and Dumber where he's pumping gas and the gas gets on him. And then, like, somehow, some way, like, I guess he got flame on his pants and he's like burning up. And she's trying to like give him the phone number. And he's like, for God's sake, just give me the dang number. She's like trying to remember where her number is and going all about this. And he's just like burning up. So I said, just give me the dang number. So yeah, it kind of reminds me of that. But yeah, but to what Sunsi was saying is that deep enough love to say it doesn't matter, which I get that, because if you like somebody to the point of love, it really won't matter because you want that loyalty, you want that protection, you want that, not provision, but the loyalty and protection you do want. You want to know that they can, I guess they would say, like me for me, just like me for me kind of thing. You know what I mean? But I get that women want that. But at the same time, there's nothing wrong with saying you want your man to have a little cash in his pocket. It's nothing wrong with saying that.
I like Sunsi's take a lot, as usual. Her and I go back, and actually, Julius, I don't even think I told you yet, but I'm trying to solicit her when she has some time to come in on the show. She'd be a great guest. That's a really cool take, how she says, the thing with the feminine is that they are both answers. I like that. It actually resonates with me.
How so?
Well, because I feel like the feminine, and maybe Sunseed, you can better help me explain this if you get where I'm coming from. The feminine is kind of man. I was hoping you wouldn't ask how so. Let me think this through here. So the feminine with that, and especially with feminine. Man, for lack of a better way to explain this concisely, it kind of is like almost like it's not what you say, it's how you say it to women. Like they often say that, and like with the divine feminine idea, both things can be true at the same time. Two seemingly opposite answers or whatever can both be held true. Let me think on that and get back to you.
So you're saying that women not answering what their men want by saying he has to have no money as long as he's loyal and protects and things like that, but also want ambition could be two things true at once. So it's not about the money. It's really just about the love that's there. And if they do have an ambition, that's also a bonus.
Yeah, because the love and whatnot would only be there most likely for an ambitious guy or something you see something in, or somebody you see something in that is worth hitching your wagon to forever.
Okay.
So ideally, yeah, it's great. Well, no money should come between us. If we fell in hard times and it went to ruins, yeah, that's great. I want a woman to deep down inside maybe feel that way or say that to me. But at the same time, I would also say that's kind of naive to not consider the fact that you want a man that has money. In fact, I would even tell young women like my little niece or something, figure out what kind of life you want. And if the man is to be provisioning for that at all, you're not to be sole provider of the finances and whatnot as the woman, then you got to figure out about how much money you want a man to make for him to be in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not going to get that lifestyle that you want.
Yeah. I mean, I do think that finances are important. I do, because you want to start a family. There's going to be finances involved, especially when the kids get older. They want to play for teams. You know what I mean? Like there's the soccer team, the basketball team, the football league, the t-ball league, the diapers and things like that. There's always the finances that do come in parts. So maybe to women, it's not the end all be all, but it definitely helps to keep a legacy going.
It will be the end all be all, but it's just like at the time, at the moment, like if he's on the come up, again, the ambitious and drive, like you pointed out, the two key words there. That's what it's all about for women. And again, I'm not faulting them. I would actually encourage women to have that kind of outlook. You don't find women who are ever with the deadbeat for a very long time.
But it still is. I still think it's funny because they say he could have no money, but then they don't want to date a bum.
Well, exactly. He has to be ambitious, Julius.
Even the bum has to be ambitious, right? Well, as long as he builds his tent correctly, hey, it's all good, right? He's building something. Am I wrong on that one?
Don't try to make me out as if I've explained. I can understand women. I certainly couldn't explain them.
You're gonna start hitting that JLP beta. No.
That's what we love about them, though. If you ask me, the mysteries of both sides.
So with that,
Sunsi said, "Good explanation." She's humoring me and supporting me. I appreciate it. That's the sign of a good woman, by the way.
Right on. Nice. Well, shout out to you, Sunsi. God bless you for being here. Appreciate that. Again, I want to thank you guys for being here, man. God bless you all. Do hit that like button. It definitely does help the algorithms. And tell your friends about this. Tell your family. Tell your coworkers. Tell everybody about this channel because we want to get this Age of Men podcast to grow so we can be in everybody's recommendation down the line. So we definitely want to grow this channel. So do like this video. Do follow us too on social media platforms. Today with Julius and C3 Nick, and also follow us, Age of Men podcast. If you want to be a guest on the show, do DM us on Age of Men on Instagram. So we're gonna be watching more videos. And then after that, we're going to jump right into talking about Trump and his deposition and then hitting Jordan Neely towards the end. So again, appreciate you guys for being here. So I've had some videos on Instagram that I was telling Nick about that I wanted him to react to. The video that we just saw with Valuetainment Money with Sauce, essentially he was just asking female athletes what they want in a man. So I thought that'd be a good discussion to kind of talk about that. So I want to see what was a good. I don't want to talk about something that's just. Let me see.
When did you want to get into what's his face? The story of the dude on the subway.
Oh yeah, that's Jordan Neely. We'll talk about that towards the end.
Cool.
We're going to do one last reaction, and then we're going to move to Trump and talk about his deposition and certain things I was kind of pulled from that. And I'll explain the whole case. I have the article. I'll explain the whole case.
Hey Julius, do your Trump impression, like deposition. This is a whole witch hunt.
This deposition. This is a witch hunt. They're trying to frame me. They know. I know. I'm innocent. This is just a political prisoner. I know they got folks January 6th in jail. They locked him up. I'm going to get him out. First thing as president, I'm going to get him out. I promise you that. Do elect me. I'm your president. God, Trump.
This is all fake news.
People worship him now like God and whatnot. I'm just playing. Shout out to all the conservatives. And
in Dawn we trust.
in Dawn we trust. Thank my son. Thank my family. I love him. I love you guys.
The Trumpers, they should take that and run with that. In Dawn we trust. That just came off the top of my head. But they can make T-shirts and shit that say that. The Trump supporters.
Yeah, that would trigger some people for sure. Okay, so I'm trying to think about a video. So here's a video I saw. There's one of Sneeko talking about the behaviors of women of Japan or USA, or there's one where I told you about the woman who gets in shape, but then writes in the back of her and says, "I want to look good for me." I think we can maybe we can go into that one, kind of briefly talk about.
Hey Julius, how about this? Let's give the audience 1 minute to weigh in. 1, if you want us to do Sneeko. 2, if you want us to do the woman.
Yeah, and let me give more context.
Type that in the chat, folks. 1 or 2.
Yeah. So Sneeko is a YouTuber. Been a YouTuber for quite some time. He blew up. He'd been blowing up, but really blew up in the past couple of years. He got censored on all social media platforms. He's now on Rumble doing his thing. Shout out to Sneeko. Sneeko was talking about the behavior differences between women in Japan and women in the USA, and how the women in Japan were a lot more submissive, a lot more reserved, but in the USA, it's a lot different. You got a lot of masculine females. So you kind of show the difference between that. So do you guys want to hear us react to that one? Or do you want to hear us react to a woman who, I guess she's in shape, but she has this caption which talks about what men want in a woman. But if she takes off her shirt, on the back of her back, it says, "I want to look good for men," but the N is crossed out. And it's basically saying, "I want to look good for me." So if you want us to react to that, hit a 1, or you want to do Sneeko, hit a 2.
Well, Katie and Von Housen says Sneeko. Okay, you're the first one. We're only going to keep this
1 for Sneeko and then 2 for women. Yeah, so we got 1 for Sneeko. So if we get 1 more for Sneeko, then we'll definitely do the Sneeko one. So.
Okay, Train's got the other one, and let's just give everybody else a chance who might want to be participating. You got 30 more seconds to vote, folks. Right now, Sneako's winning. Oh, Amy's won. I think Sneako's gonna win it.
Okay. Let's watch the Sneako then. Hold on. Hey, God bless you guys, man. Appreciate you guys for indulging us on that. Okay, so
as you see, we like to engage. Our motto is we chat back. So,
yeah, hashtag we chat back. Okay, so let me pull up this video with Sneako and kind of show the difference in what he talks about. It's actually interesting too. It's like have like a little good music behind it to give it a little more sob, you know. All right, let me just pause this real quick and then I'll play the video. All right, here we go. Appreciate you guys too. God bless you all. Minnesota gang. What up, Minnesota? How you doing, man?
that's Sergeant Larson, man. That's the homie right there.
Right on. What up, Sarge? Okay, so this is Sneako talking about behaviors of women in Japan versus USA. This also comes from Red Pill Rants on Instagram. So we'll play this right now. Actually, let me do this right here. Give you guys a full screen so it makes it easier. Okay, here we go.
The big wake-up call was going to Japan. The women there don't have a drop of testosterone in their body. The way that they smile, the way that they talk to you, how high-pitched their voice is. It's just so nice. It's just so soothing and pleasant. Like you order something. Oh, okay. And you're like, oh. And you just want to protect them. Just naturally, you feel more like a man because you want to protect it. You want to provide for her. You just want to create that nice environment for this beautiful feminine woman. And then you realize there, like, the amount of bullshit that you need to put up with these women in America, how combative they are, and everything in the culture is steering them away from being feminine. It's like now you this. It's just the Cardi B thing. You need to be the tip-top guy in order to make a woman submit. But women are happy to just do that in Japan. None of them have their cleavage out. They're not showing too much like skin. They're dressed extremely girly with their dresses and their fingernails. And like someone was walking around with cat ears because it's goofy. Why am I putting up with women who want to be men at the same time when you could just go to a different place and find an actually feminine woman?
Interesting. I love that. I love, now mind you, this goes into the this also goes into the passport bros argument, right? Now mind you, I understand men going overseas and doing that, but I also do think that when they do go overseas and you bring that chick back over here and she starts to adapt American ways, she's going to become what you end up leaving America for. You know what I mean? So I'm not knocking necessarily red pill men that want to go overseas and find a woman, but I just think that unless you're going to lead her to the point where she's not going to get indoctrinated by American culture.
Don't bring her back here, bro.
Yeah. But
hey, let's explain to the people real quick, because there might be some that are unfamiliar with this whole new phenomenon. It's called passport bros.
Right.
And go ahead, Julius, tell them.
No, go ahead.
From what I understand, it's men who are often part of the red pill movement, as you'll often hear us talking about, but they've become fed up with Western women, so to speak, like the women in our country, to the point that now, I can't remember the stat, but it was something crazy. I think like 70 or maybe 700,000 or something like that. Young men in this country have gotten their passports this year since January. Mm-hmm. And they're doing that because they call them passport bros. They're planning on going overseas to some of these more traditional areas and landing themselves a woman and then, I don't know, bringing her back or whatever. But they're abandoning ship here in America. They see a sinking ship with the women here and they're going to find it elsewhere.
Yeah. And so now there's an argument to be made that the men are just going overseas just so they can have sex with these women. I mean, it's to me, I don't have a problem with it. Again, my only issue is just bringing them back here because you see, I'm sure you've seen videos on YouTube, Instagram, wherever, where you've seen people who come from other countries over here and end up adopting a more leftist ideology. I mean, look, maybe this might be wrong to say, a bad example, but look at somebody like Ilhan Omar, came from Somalia over here, fled her country to come to America, only to get in Congress and talk about some people did something on 9/11. You get
they're going to be influenced. they're going to be influenced by our culture, no doubt. That's why I was saying, don't bring them here, bro.
Yeah, unless you bring them here and you really lead the way and show them what it means to be submissive by you being in your masculine frame, then you're solid, you're golden. But if you bring them over here and you start to lose that frame and they start to look at other options out there, all the other men in certain areas like the LAs of the world, or even the countries, you know,
or the money, she might want to become her own independent woman or whatever.
That too as well, yes. So, and she's like, well, why do I need him when I can make my own money?
I don't need no man. I don't need no man.
Exactly. Then she sees the protest of all the women who are like strong and independent. We don't need no man. Down with the patriarchy. And she's looking at her man like, yeah, he has been telling me what to do. And she's gonna think she's been brainwashed by her culture where she lives. And now she's now woke in America. And now she becomes
you got a disaster.
Now she's voting. Now she's putting in policies. Now she's defending drag queen, twerking in front of children, and all because you brought her back to adapt to American culture, bro. I don't know. I'm not saying it's a lose-lose. I'm just saying just be careful what you wish for. That's all I'm saying. So,
yeah. I like Paulie's take. My buddy, good buddy of mine, actually. Shout out to him. He has been on this tear lately, ripping out passport bros, saying, "Look, man, you're running from your problems." More or less. I'm summarizing what I've gotten from him. So don't say this is him, take it to bank. But you're running from your problems by doing that, and you can only run for so long. So it's going to be there before you know it too, and then you're going to be running again. And your mothers and your sisters and everybody are growing up in this area. You should work towards figuring out, a solution here. Don't be running. There's nowhere to run. That's beta anyways. Running. Kind of.
That's like what Catherine says, I don't need no man.
I don't need no man.
I just like I just spelled it out. Yeah. I don't need no man.
Hashtag I don't need no man.
I'm telling you, we gotta get a sound effect for that. I don't need no man. I'm telling you, I want that sound effect from Fresh and Fit with the black girl. Hey y'all. I want that, bro. That is so funny. I want that so much. But yeah, man, I mean, again, I'm not knocking passport, bro. I'm not. You guys want to go overseas, get your woman, get a more traditional woman, submissive woman. Hey, do your thing, dog. Shout out to you. More power to you. I hope it works out. Genuinely, I hope it does work out. But at the same time, just be careful. Bring them back to America, bro. Because once they start listening to politics, like all the Democrats, especially the AOCs of the world, it is over. You lost her the moment you left. So just be careful with that.
Hey, bro, what comes to mind, just as a funny question, what's like the phrase or words that come to mind when you think of like a Japanese woman? I'll tell you mine after you. Hit me with like the first thing you think of. What would they say?
Ni hao?
Nice. What's that mean again?
Hello.
Nice. For me, it's Miwabi Wong time.
Those massage parlors.
actually, the real one that comes to mind, but I thought that was funnier. But for me, it's sauce on your eyes, because I always would buy that stuff in the mall and shit, and like
yeah, I know, right? Dude, I'm not gonna lie, man. Those Japanese places be really bomb. You go to the restaurants, it is so good. I tried everything, but I'm not gonna lie, it be smelling delicious. I'm curious, like, what is that? You know what I mean? So,
it's cat. It's cat. No, I'm just kidding.
It's catfish and dogfish.
Ooh.
So speaking of that, when you bring these girls back over to America, to segue, they start to adapt things and become a lot more liberal. Then they start to fight back against people like Trump, which goes into our next segment. So Trump Deposition, right? So we're going to bring up this article. This is from Time Magazine. I'm going to read you guys a couple paragraphs, show you guys the video of what they were talking about as far as Trump's ways of, groping women and things like that. So let's get into the article real quick.
This led to the pink pussy hat phenomenon, correct?
Yes, because when Trump ran for president, when he announced his presidency back in 2015, they 6 years ago looked up. I'll play you guys the video too from 6 years ago that CNN pulled up. Played this video that Trump had said some things behind closed doors, and that, as Nick said, led to protests because what he said a decade ago, I would say well over a decade ago, almost 2 decades ago now. What he said then, they thought that was his character now. And mind you, Trump has apologized. He went on national television, apologized, but that wasn't enough for people. So this is what the article is saying from Time Magazine. Let me pull up this article for you guys real quick. So let me just do this. Won't do full screen. I kind of have Nick and I on the side while we pull up this article. My computer is acting very slow, so give us a second. Okay, so this is the article right here. And this is Time Magazine reports what to know E.G. civil trial against Trump for grape and defamation. I'm using the word grape so that YouTube doesn't try to knock us down for using the actual real word. I know it sucks to do that.
You have to. You have to play the game.
So this article starts off by saying writer E. Jean. Let me pause this so it's not a distraction. Writer E. Jean Carroll testified in a civil trial this week against former President Donald Trump, alleging that he sexually assaulted her over 25 years ago in a New York department store, and then defamed her after she spoke about it in 2019. I'm also going to show you guys that interview with Anderson Cooper as well. A prominent 79-year-old former columnist for Elle magazine, Carroll is one of the more than 20 women who have accused the former president of sexual misconduct since the 1980s. Trump had denied all the allegations, including Carroll's, and few have ever resulted in legal action. The trial, which is the result of Carroll filing a lawsuit in 2022, began on Tuesday, and on Wednesday, Carroll testified and underwent an aggressive cross-examination in court by Trump's lawyer. So this was the video that CNN pulled. This was like 6 years ago. Once he announced his presidency, this was from, I'll give you guys the exact date when CNN posted this. So it's October 2016, October 7th, one day before my birthday. So that's interesting. So 2016, this was after Trump announced his presidency. They pulled this video to make it seem like Trump was this bad dude. So this is what was said behind closed doors. I'm turning the volume up a little bit louder so you guys can hear. So it says footage from 2005 has surfaced featuring Donald Trump using vulgar language about women.
It's amazing that this statement gets such a disclaimer ahead of time. Like,
I know.
caution, strong language.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I moved on her, actually. You know, she was down in Palm Beach. I moved on her, and I failed. I'll admit it. Whoa. I did try. She was married.
It's your genetics there.
No, Nancy. No, this was, and I moved on her very heavily. In fact, I took her out furniture shopping.
Can you full screen it, Julius, so we can see the subtitles?
Oh, yeah.
She wanted to get some furniture. I said, I'll show you where that's some nice furniture.
Sorry about that, guys.
I took out furniture. I moved on her like a bitch. But I couldn't get there. And she was married. And all of a sudden, I see her. She's now got the big phony tits and everything. She's totally changed her look.
She's your girl's hot as shit. In the purple.
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes, Nadal underscore.
Whoa.
Oh, my man. Wait, you gotta look at your. You gotta set this up.
That is very.
You give me the thumbs up.
You are.
You gotta give the thumbs up. You gotta give the thumbs up. Can't be too happy. Yeah, let me just. You gotta give the thumbs up.
You and I will walk in.
Julius, can you pause for a second, man?
Yeah.
I think when you went to full screen, it like isn't working the way it was before because all it's saying is click to exit full screen, but we can't see anything on the screen.
Oh, hold on. Hold on.
And thus far, people, so what I'm gathering from this is Trump is saying, I went to make a move on this woman at a time, and I was a bitch about it, and I failed.
I got you guys here. Sorry about that.
It's like locker room talk, it sounds like so far.
Yeah, let's do this. Whoops.
Thanks, Amy. Yeah, we're on it. We got you. It'll be pristine in just a moment.
Oh, here we go.
Perfect.
I moved on her, actually. You know, she was down in Palm Beach. I moved on her, and I failed. I'll admit it. And I did try. She was married.
It's huge news there.
No, Nancy. No, this was, and I moved on her very heavily. In fact, I took her out furniture shopping.
Did it.
I mean, you got money.
She wanted to get some furniture. I said, I'll show you where they have some nice furniture. I took her out furniture. I moved on her like a bitch. But I couldn't get her. And she was married. And all of a sudden, I see her. She's now got the big phony tits and everything. She's totally changed her look.
Your girl's hot as shit. In the purple.
Whoa!
Yes.
Whoa!
Yes, the dollar was scored.
Whoa!
Oh, my man. Wait, you gotta look at him when you get out of your set this up.
That is
You give me the thumbs up.
You are.
You gotta get the thumbs up. You gotta get the thumbs up. Can't be too happy.
Yeah, you and I will work it.
Oh my God.
Maybe it's a different one.
Better not be the thumbs. No, it's
Yeah, that's it, with the gold. I'm going to use some Tic Tacs just in case they start kissing her.
So it says the Trump campaign responded. This was locker room banter, a private conversation that took place many years ago. Bill Clinton has said far worse to me on the golf course, not even close.
You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Just, I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy. Do anything.
The remarks prompted Trump to apologize for the first time during his campaign.
No, it looks good.
Come on, shorty.
Oh, nice legs, huh?
Get out of the way. That's good legs. Good.
It's always good if you don't fall out of the bus. Like Ford, Gerald Ford, remember?
Down below. Pull the hand.
Hello, how are you? Hi.
Trump, how
Nice
are
seeing
you?
you.
Nice to
Terrific.
meet you.
Terrific. You know Billy Bush?
How are you?
Nice to see you. How you doing, Ariane?
Doing very well, thank you. Are you ready to be a soap star?
We're ready. Let's go. Make me a soap star.
Have a little hug for the darling. Just got off the
We're not
bus.
gonna
Okay,
darling.
absolutely.
Have a
Melania
little
said
hug
this
for the
was
bushy.
okay.
So I apologize if anybody was offended. The comment concluded. So to me, so now we look at that, right? And let me go ahead and then just pull up what his reaction was. Right, we're gonna fast forward to what his reaction was, and I'll give you guys what he said about that, which is interesting. I mean, he's just honest. And I mean, at least to this, he's just honest. So I have my disagreements, but in this case, not that big of a deal.
Is it fucked up of me to say that I kind of liked him more after hearing that?
Yeah, no, it's not. I mean, he's I hate to say this, but he's just being a guy.
Exactly, ladies. If you've never heard men like in locker rooms talk, literally that's what this was. He had no idea he was being candidly recorded. Look,
Yeah.
and what I get from what he's saying when you're successful, you literally can walk up and grab them by the pussy. They want you to do it. They're happy to have you do it. It's not rape at that point. It's not being forced upon somebody unwilling. They're eager for it.
Yeah. I mean,
That's the vibe I got. You know, maybe I'm wrong. I don't really care either way. I'm not going to die on that hill, but it's just.
yeah, the same women who are more like, younger, like 20, maybe early 30s, they're in their favorite rappers' DMs all the time and asking to hang out with him, maybe saying some egregious things like, I want to do this, that, and the third to you. But Trump, what he said is so disgusting, right? Now, the argument can be made, Trump was about to be president, and it's like, well, no. This is in 2005, before he even thought about running for president. This is like years ago that he said this. So people can change over time. Do you know what I mean? So when he announced, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Good.
No, I was saying when he announced the presidency and they tried to use that to tear him down, a lot of people were brainwashed. Well, Trump liked to grab him by the pee, and it's like, I remember one time I asked this woman, right? Now people can say this is a straw man argument, but I had to use this. I said, have you seen Magic Mike? I'm like, women go to watch Magic. Yeah, it's a movie, but a movie about men taking off their clothes. So you want to go see Magic Mike, but you're mad at a statement that Trump said because he's a celebrity, right? His whole point was when you're a star, this is what happens. But when you go see Magic Mike, those men are celebrities on screen that you want to see with their clothes off. How is that any different?
So I had something I was going to say, but Kadian's comment here in the chat is really
Got it right here. Says if he never said that, and triggered me, I would have never have looked into how he's one of the least esh people in politics. He challenged my critical thinking. I respect him for that.
amazing.
Interesting. And see, and that's what I mean. When you watch the news tell you something and you don't look into it for yourself, they'll give you the sound bites.
So that's what I was going to say, bro. It's funny that this didn't come out until he decided to run for president. So that means they were sitting on this audio of him never putting it out. If they claim he's a predator or whatever because of it, they were covering for a predator then for 10, 15 years.
Exactly. Good point, dude. I wish I had sound effective. Perfect. I'm telling you, man, that is true. This is why, man, this is the same thing I think with Steven Crowder's situation. When you see a video of him and his wife kind of, having that disagreement, and now all of a sudden people are saying, well, he was always like this. But if you knew that, why didn't you say anything back then? Why were you covering for Steven Crowder? And then all of a sudden you want to start saying something now that it's out there, that it's leaked. Now Candace Owens using her platform to say something. Now you want to kind of choo-choo train behind that. And then, well, he was always like this. He tried to do this. He tried to do that. But why didn't you guys say anything before when it was happening? What were you covering? Yourself? Steven? I'm just
because
saying.
It wasn't politically convenient at that time, because it wasn't playing to your own ends somehow. So this egregious person you were willing to sit silent about, even though you knew not that egregious, or you're more egregious for covering for it.
Exactly. So here we have Trump's reaction. Fast forward now to the trial. It's about like a minute long, but this is basically just his reaction to what they was talking about that. So here's
real quick. Let's bring people up to speed on what the deposition is all about. Like,
oh yeah. Well, no. So the deposition was exactly real quick. The deposition was exactly what I was reading in the Time magazine article. It's basically about E.G. Carroll's case of the rape. So I'm trying to bring
from
it
like
back
20 or 25 years ago. She said,
yeah.
Something like that. She's now coming out, and he defamed her in 2019 about it. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, E. Jean Carroll made this statement that Trump raped her when they went to a New York department store, and then he's saying that didn't happen, and that she's basically defaming him. She's lying about it, and I'm gonna show you guys an interview that she did with Anderson Cooper that makes you question: is she telling the truth? Based on what her statement is, so we'll get to that just as well.
Now, is that the same woman he's talking about in that clip where he's like, I was going for her and I failed? Is he talking about her? Okay,
No.
Just making sure.
Yeah, he just talking about whoever he was talking about. He just talking about. He basically saying, yeah,
Gotcha.
in that clip alone, he just saying that he saw a fine woman try to make a move and he got rejected. But again, this is women do this, men do this all the time. When a woman talks to a certain guy, she's all excited, and then they make a move. She tells her girlfriend about it, like, "Ooh, girl, he was doing this, that, and the third with me." Imagine that was on tape, and she tried to run for Congress, and then people put that tape out. Oh, it was just girlfriend talk. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, so this is Trump responding to this in the trial, which was last year, by the way. I didn't realize this was October of last year. It's interesting.
The deposition was from last year.
Yeah, can you see the date right here at the bottom of the left-hand corner? So October 19, 2022. I even know
they're just releasing it now, or
yeah,
I'm confused.
Okay. The whole thing is interesting. All right, so we'll play the tape later.
True with Harvey, you can grab women by. Well, that's if you look over the last million years, I guess that's been largely true, not always, largely true. Unfortunately.
You consider yourself to be a star?
I think you can say that. She's accusing me of rape. A woman that I have no idea who she is. It came out of the blue. She's accusing me of rape, of raping her. The worst thing you can do, the worst charge. And it's not true too. You're a political operative also. You're a disgrace. But she's accusing you of rape, and it never took place. And I will tell you, I made that statement and I said, well, it's politically incorrect. She's not my type. And that's 100% true. She's not my type. There's this ridiculous situation that we're doing right. It's a big fat hoax. She's a liar and she's a sick person, in my opinion. Really sick. Something wrong with her.
Yeah.
Only Trump could be on the stand getting the third degree and turn it back on them saying, you're a political operative too. You just
I know. I like that. I know. I actually do like that a lot. That's like boss move right there.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. It's that like you have, and women can do that. You know, with the Me Too movement, they can even with the whole these girls who are going to the gym and they're filming guys just for being in their peripheral. Obviously, the camera there, right? It's like when you see somebody filming a movie, you're gonna walk past and looking like what they're filming. Where you're gonna say, "Oh, this guy is looking at me because I'm filming a movie." There's obviously a crew there, so if you have a woman there with a tripod and a camera, and you just happen to look over and saying what you're doing, now she's like, "Oh, this creep is looking at me."
Not to mention she's in skin tight spandex at a gym. Like, come on. But that's why dudes are wearing shades now when they go to the gyms and stuff. They're literally wearing sunglasses to protect themselves from this ridiculousness.
I know. Well, some will argue. They might say, "Well, Nick, it doesn't matter if she's wearing skin tight clothing. Her body, her choice. She can do what she wants. A man shouldn't look." But when you have a tripod and a camera facing your direction, that she's in the same direction as you are, and you just kind of happen to look over, you're just gonna go and tilt your head back. Now it's like, oh, this guy's being creepy. Now you're gonna ruin this man's life because of what you're filming in his direction. He's not in your direction. You're in his direction.
In a public space.
Exactly. So,
and by the way, that's total bullshit. I know you were just playing devil's advocate with the argument like that women wearing this. Look, you get reactions based on your behavior and your appearance in the society, in the world. Period. Men are going to be attracted to women. Provocatively dressed women or tightly dressed clothes will elicit reactions from many straight men, even subconsciously, not by choice. Like that's what's gonna happen. That's why I tell my young daughter, don't be dressing like that if you don't want that attention.
Yeah, but Nick, in these times in 2023, someone say you gotta be careful because that could be almost saying that, well, Nick, you're basically saying if she gets raped, she deserves it.
No, well, they could spin it like that. I'm saying it like this. Dave Chappelle put it hilariously funny. He's like, now, ladies, you always say, look, just because I'm dressed this way doesn't mean that that's what I am. Right. Fair enough. You're right about that, ladies. However, you got to understand as a man, it's damn confusing. That'd be like me, Dave Chappelle, the comedian, walking down the street in a police officer uniform, and somebody comes running up to me, oh, officer, help, help us. And I'm like, whoa. Just because I'm dressed this way. And so what he's getting at, he's like, look, you're right. That doesn't make you a whore to be dressed that way. But you're damn sure in a whore's uniform.
Yeah. You know what's funny, though? That argument is almost, you know how Dave Chappelle fast forward made an argument about the whole trans? And he's like, hey, buddy, I'm Chinese. It's like, what? This is how I feel inside. So it's like, just because I'm dressed this way does not make me a cop. So, yeah, but still, the argument can be made. And I'm just trying to play that advocate here. It's like, when I would do street interviews, my modern dating questions, I would go to the club and I would see a lot of women wearing dresses, skirts, and things like that. One can say, well, they can wear what they want. If they want to be sexy, they want to be sexy. But they also got to look at your point, too. I'm pointing this way because you're on this side. They also got to think about what you're saying, too, Nick, is that you will draw attention when you do wear certain outfits. Now, mind you, people can say, well, why can't the man control himself, right? But this is where we kind of have this issue. You're saying, why can't the man control himself? Why couldn't the woman control how she dressed?
Yeah, she could have, and he could have, but they didn't, and now they're both suffering for it. Exactly. Again, you're going to get unwanted attention behaving that way, dressing that way, whatever it may be. Don't do it if you don't want it.
I mean, men are attracted to women. Women are attracted to men. look, I'm not trying to be funny, but this shirt, I didn't buy this shirt a size small. It's actually a large. It's just not washed it. It's just kind of lightweight, shrunk a little bit. That's like me walking out and the female sees me and she likes the way my arms look in this shirt. She's gonna look at that. Am I supposed to say, "Oh, I feel some type of way because you're looking at my arms"? Is that all I'm good for? Do you know what I'm saying? It'd just be unnecessary because I am wearing this shirt that makes my arms and chest look a certain way. So if I get women that actually
it looks super packed, super out here, super ripped.
Yeah.
Makes me look a certain way.
Hey man, push-ups do wonders. No, but
it accents my incredible physique.
Yeah. Sunseed says, I want to put a comment up. She says, it's not that cut and dry, no matter how logical it is. Sometimes things are just black and white. I think sometimes we always look for the gray area in order to justify behavior. You know what I mean? Men are attracted to women, especially when they go to the club. If a woman is wearing a short dress, very loud color like a pink or a red or even white, and cleavage is showing, a lot of makeup on, things like that, men are going to look at her before any other woman because she stands out the most. So they will look at her, might get a couple of drinks, and I'm going to talk to her. You know what I'm trying to say? So this tends to happen the same way where if a man comes in, clean cut shirt, fresh haircut, pearly whites, you know what I'm trying to say? Like a little gold chain, kind of just hanging, like he had the shirt with no t-shirt, kind of the chest showing. You know what I'm trying to say? She's gonna look at that, get a couple of drinks,
a nice watch on his wrist, a nice car that he rolls up in. He's gonna be judged for those kind of things.
Exactly. So I think it is more cut and dry because again, everybody has a responsibility for what they present to the world. You cannot get mad at attracting certain men if you're always looking attractive every single time. Meaning that if you're wearing certain dresses when you go to the club, don't get mad when you get the wrong attention, if you will. You know what I mean? Because you're going to get that men who are just going to look and try to talk to you because you look good that day. Same thing with women. A guy pulls up in a nice car, got a nice outfit, smelling good, and women want to, talk to him, smile at him. It's on both sides. So it comes down to their responsibility.
It's not even just that, dude. You're going to be judged based on how you present yourself in society, whether you like that or not. Sorry, that's what it is. Even grandma is going to judge a young lady with her ass hanging out, walking down the street.
Yeah.
It presents a certain look about yourself that you can't separate from. You have every right to dress how you want, I guess. Sure, even though it could be considered indecent exposure in a lot of ways. Let's go with that argument. Sure, you can dress however you want. And guess what? People have every right to react to it how they see.
Yeah.
Now, I want to be clear, if it doesn't go without saying, like, I am in no way, shape, or form like justifying or anything like that, finding a loophole for assault or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying you're going to be perceived in certain ways, and that's going to elicit that kind of response from those kind of men.
Yeah, and it is unfortunate. I think it's unfortunate that there are men who can't control themselves to the point where they have to like be super aggressive, like give me. It's almost like Cookie Monster.
It's awful. They give us all an awful name, but at the same time, it's unfortunate that women feel the need to go out there and show their goods off to everybody that they should be valuing because you're devaluing them.
That's why I say it's accountability on both sides. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Both are held responsible. If a man genuinely is trying to enjoy the fruits of his labor by having a nice car and dressing nice because he just wants to look nice, he knows he's going to get attention, so he can't get mad if he gets the wrong attention. Like he can't get mad if the women
gold diggers start coming around. Gold diggers are going to come out for drinks and stuff.
Yeah, gold diggers are girls who he's not that attracted to come up to him. Do you know what I mean? Like he can't get mad.
Don't wear that nice watch in the chain or whatever then, man. If you don't want that kind of attention. Stop showing up in the freaking Bentley.
You know what? Mandatory hoodies for male and females, all right? Big baggy hoodies for everybody. So y'all
that's not too far off of the Muslim approach. Like, dude, and I'm not saying that their society is correct,
hey,
but that's why they have the women in no provocative clothes.
Real law.
They cover their heads and stuff. I'm not saying. I'm just saying like that's the extreme end of like they don't want to be like us, where the women are out there because men are lustful, especially bad men. The men that are going to act impulsively and aggressively on things are going to be the ones that are insatiable and see that as a, I don't know.
Yeah. So I was reading Sunsea's comment, but
Burka, here I come.
Kitty Ann says, she said it's all just advertising. If you want a different reaction, then redesign the advertisement. Who's the target audience? Facts. I like that. Who's the target audience? I like that.
Katie, you're winning me over tonight.
Katie finna get a ring from Nick.
Don't be throwing those rumors around.
Sunsea says air signs and astrology, taking other in consideration and balanced considerations. Interesting point. I will say air signs are not my thing. I know people are into that kind of stuff. It's just not my thing. I believe in God. I believe in his sign. That's just me though. But she also says, Burka, here I come. I thought that was funny.
That's hilarious. She's very good with astrology and whatnot, but she does it in like a very she legitimizes it for all the people that like have delegitimized it, if you ask me. And that's a pretty cool perspective to realize, taking other into consideration. That's exactly what I'm trying to tell these people, that the women or the men, whoever that are dressed like this and getting certain attention. You should take that into consideration before you decide to put that. In fact, they are taking that into consideration when they put that kind of thing on. They just don't want it from certain people. They want the attention from certain whoever. They're trying to elicit a response. If you wanted to just dress like that for yourself, why wouldn't you put on all that makeup and those clothes and go to sleep like that alone?
Yeah, and just real quick, I gotta point this out because we're kind of on this real quick. I'm going to show one last video of Trump saying it's just savage lines to this woman, but I also want to just show this thing right here. We talk about what they're advertising, like that. Now here's the clip that I was telling you about with this woman right here. I just thought it was just interesting to me.
Real quick, while you're moving on to that, one more thing Sunseed added. Just watch the lady talk about how liberating 1800s dress was for this reason. Any woman could achieve the fashion, shape, and be in their body.
Yeah. So this may tie into what I'm going to play, but I thought, again, my apologies for showing you guys this angle of this woman, but this is just how she posted it. This was she posted right here. My apology. I'm only showing you guys this to show you what she said. So her caption reads, "Society, men like women who are curvy but not too curvy." So then it says also, society, men like women who are thin but not too thin. So it's almost like this indecisive. I want her to be curvy but not too curvy, thin but not too thin, right? That's what they're kind of going with it. And then it's men like women who are toned but not too tone masculine, or not too masculine. And then she takes off her
taking my clothes off.
Right. She takes off her shirt and it says, "I want to look good for men." So, or she says for men, but it says she has the end crossed out, says for me. So, to me, it's like that's what's interesting. That's what's interesting is that she said, "I want to look good for men," but then crosses out the end for me. So I want to look good for me. Again, that goes back to my point: is that it's fine that you want to exercise and get your body right. I think people should do that. People should go to the gym. I exercise as much as I can, do my push-ups, my jumping jacks, my sit-ups, and things like that. Walk around, move around as much as possible. I try to do that. But let's be honest here. A lot of that is because you want to attract the person that you want to be with. So a woman who's going to the gym and is getting herself in somewhat shape is going to want to look attractive for her dream guy. It's just what it is, you know? So, yeah, you want to look good for you. I totally get that. I'm not knocking you. Shout out to you for going to the gym and working out. But let's just stop the cap. You want to look attractive for the person who's going to be attractive to you, which is the man. And that should be fine. Nothing wrong with wanting them to look good for your dream guy. Just like men who step up their status to look good for that woman because they want to get the right girl to be attracted to them. Not because of what they got, because of how they earned it. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah, do women have the same standards? I want a man to be like the strong leader that can protect us and whatnot, but I want him to be emotionally available and what. Like, you can say that the same thing for both. Sometimes people have standards and expectations and whatnot, and it's not wrong for somebody to be of that. You know, you can just try to fit those if that person is who you want, and if not, you can disregard what they're saying or thinking for one.
But then we also talk about advertisement, right? So look at the advertisement. Obviously, her butt is right there. She takes off her shirt to give the illusion that there's something in front. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you may say looking good for you, but then why not just put your
As
face
I'm
on?
taking my fucking top off provocatively.
Exactly. Sunsea says the bustle was for fun. Nobody looks like that. Like back in the 1800s. The bustle, I think the old school 1800 dress is not so like revealing, kind of just more like the standard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then she also says, "I hear you on astrology. On the astrology, I believe in God. Just speak on elemental dialect from time to time to illustrate. I get you. Shout out to you. I appreciate you." And then she also says, Sunsea says, she would never look good for all men. Too much diversity. Look good for you. Someone is looking for you. Yeah. Can go with that. But I mean, at the same time, I'm just saying it's good you want to exercise and get in shape, but let's just stop the cap. You are trying to look good for not you, Sunsea, but the woman is trying to look good. Hence her showing her butt and taking off her shirt, being like, look at me, look at me. It's all about me these days, right? That's social media for you. So real quick, I'm gonna play this one last video of Trump. Real quick, I just want to play the savagery by Trump that I thought was hilarious. And when I made this video, I had to put the music behind it. I thought it was just perfect for Trump to say this. And then we're gonna move on to the next subject with Jordan Neely. So let me full screen this real quick and show you guys. I thought this is just hilarious to me. It's like a few seconds, but it's just super hilarious. Trump just being Trump, you know. Okay, so this is Trump when he was asked about, you know, the whole women and things like that. And so this was one of his response. I thought it was hilarious.
When you said in that video that Ms. Leeds would not be your first choice, you were referring to her physical looks, correct?
Just the overall. I look at her, I see her, I hear what she says, whatever. You wouldn't be a choice of mine either, to be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. I would not, under any circumstances, have any interest in you. I'm honest when I say it. I would not have any interest in.
I love that.
Oh
dude.
my God. The guy is, say what you will about him, the guy is an absolute master at turning anything and destroying you with it in one line.
Yeah.
Like she's interrogating him, giving him the third degree as the prosecutor. And he does that to her on the stand.
It's hilarious, man. I mean, look, love or hate the guy, but in that instance, that's some savagery right there. He was like, you wouldn't be my first choice either. Not to insult you. But
I wouldn't pick you in a million. I also kind of like how because she was trying to walk him into it. She's like, you're talking about her physical looks, right? And he's just like, just in general, how I just proceed. Like he's not gonna just say that.
Exactly, yeah. Because then they're trying to use that. It's like, see, he's such a sexist.
And then he spins it on her. Not only is he not on the defense, he's the master of counterpunching. I would call it. Like, yeah. He's sad. He's destroyed people's careers. Tons and tons of people over and over again through this kind of thing. They get in a verbal thing with him.
Yeah.
And in one sentence, not only does he like dismiss like anything that you're throwing at him, he comes back at you so savage everybody forgets about the original question.
That's how he got Hillary Clinton in her debate when it came to the.
That's how he got. And prior to that, that's how he got Jeb Bush.
Oh,
that's how he got Rosie O'Donnell. That's how there's countless people that he's savage.
Yeah, he is. Again, love or hate the guy. At that point, I thought he was savage. I thought that was funny. That's why I posted that with that little beat in the background.
I love the Snoop Dre.
Yeah. Okay, so the last part of the show, we're gonna move on to Jordan Neely. So, Nick, I know we talked about this behind the scenes, and you were saying that you weren't really up to speed when it comes to Jordan Neely. So, how much do you know? Since we did talk about it, how much did you look into? What do you know about what happened in New York?
Very, very little. I heard a couple of friends like discussing it on a podcast that they do, and just as I was like kind of like doing things. So I don't know much. I know that the man was acting unruly or maybe like aggressively on the subway, and some bystanders decided to like restrain him, and they restrained him too hard or too long, or I don't know what happened, but he died. He dead.
Yeah.
That's about all I know. So fill us in.
So there's actually a new footage now of the friend of Jordan Neely speaks out. So we'll definitely watch that one as well. But we're gonna look at, I believe this is the full video right here. It's about a minute and this is from ABC 7. So we're gonna watch this video and then this is from a day ago. So they might talk about it. They might show the footage. I'm not sure. Okay, so this is essentially what it was. This was yesterday. So we'll play this video here.
Julius, do you want to explain it at all before we go in, or just watch the footage first and then explain?
Yeah. So let me give you a little context for you guys who don't maybe know what's happening. I covered this actually on my other YouTube page. If you guys want to go check it out, not now, but when you guys get a chance, go check it out. My YouTube page today with Julius, I covered this whole thing, read the article, and watched the video and things like that, reacted to it, gave my piece on it. So Jordan Neely was a man who was a Michael Jackson impersonator. He would be dancing, in New York, making money, things like that. And then
a street performer, if you will. Like he wasn't necessarily doing like venues and stuff, but he was street performing.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. A street performer, as you will. I guess when his mother died back in 2007, his mother was also choked and her body was thrown into the back of a car in the trunk. That devastated him, put him in kind of like a depression, kind of lost his way. And then down the line, just kind of he lost himself and then became homeless. And
mental health issues out the wazoo, right?
Exactly.
Multiple charges on his record.
Yeah, he had situations where he punched somebody, tried to kidnap a 7-year-old girl. He punched a 67-year-old woman.
He punched a 67-year-old woman. I think he has like a 30 or 40 different charge rap sheet.
It's like 40 plus prior arrests. So the last one I think was like 2021. So his attacker actually, I believe, not the 67-year-old woman, but I think it was like prior to that, back in 2021 of June, there was a woman who actually came out because he was the one that, or she was the one that he attacked, was begging essentially for him to get help, but it never happened because New York policies suck. So in this incident, fast forward on the subway, Jordan was kind of walking up and down the aisle on the subway, yelling at people, asking for money, saying he's hungry, saying he will go to jail, saying he would hurt anybody to get what he wants, essentially. And so
he was hungry. He wants food. I don't care who I got to hurt. I'll go to jail.
Yeah,
I'm starving out here.
Yeah. And so a Marine veteran claimed that he was harassing people and also in his face. So he took him down, had him in a chokehold for about like 15 minutes. You had two other guys trying to hold him down as well. And during that whole chokehold, it got to a point where he just lost consciousness and ended up dying once he got to the hospital. So
I'll be very interested to find out if drugs are in his toxicology report at some point.
I don't know. We gotta wait.
I mean, it could be fentanyl. It could be a number of things, but or maybe the Marine was too aggressive. But it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out and how the press will cover it accordingly. Like if drugs are in his toxicology report and stuff, you're not going to hear about that in the mainstream.
Right, exactly. So we have politicians like AOC, other Democrats basically saying how the system is broken and this is what happens when, he was just a man of the system, of a broken system. And I'm just thinking to myself, you're part of the system and you're in New York, AOC. You live in New York.
Wow.
You're a congresswoman and you live in New York.
What have you done personally for mental health in New York, AOC?
Exactly. Like what I'm not saying she hasn't talked about it, but what has she really done? Because obviously the policies are not working. If they were, she would have been on it to help people like Jordan Neely. Do you get what I'm saying? Never once did you hear AOC talk about how she tried to reach out to homeless people. She just talked about how the system's broken. It's the Republicans' fault. But you live in New York, AOC. You live in a nice condo away from all that noise. You ain't riding the subway. The everyday American is. So what are you talking about? The system is broken. Like it's all bullcrap. So here's the video right here that they talked about, or that they showed. This is from yesterday. I don't know how much they're going to show, but this is what I got right now. So let's check this out here. This is on the subway in New York. This is a video by a passenger on the subway named Juan Alberto Vasquez.
The individual who did this has to testify at some point to say, I was in fear of my life, or I just wanted to end this situation as best I could. Those things matter. Those statements from the witnesses are really going to play a big role in this.
So their audio is really low. I don't know if it's just me or what it is, but their audio is super low. So I'm going to read what it says.
Yeah.
So the guy who put him in a chokehold was Daniel Penny, a Marine veteran. This is coming from his attorney. He says, when Mr. Neely began aggressively threatening Daniel Penny and other passengers, Daniel, with the help of others, acted to protect themselves until help arrived. And this is all video from a passenger who was on the subway with Daniel Penny.
See, but this is what I find interesting, man. In such a circumstance, I would assume everybody and their mother would have their phone out filming. How is there no footage of his behavior leading up to the, encounter?
Right. I'm going to touch on that too. So the next statement is, Daniel never intended to harm Mr. Neely and could not have foreseen his untimely death. Hopefully, I'm going to try to go through the whole thing. This is a protest that happened. Yeah, people protesting. They were also protesting. Wait, hold on. What did that say?
40 indict the murderer. They're trying to have the guy that choked him out put up for murder.
Yeah. So see right there it says 40 arrests, history of mental illness. Let me go back because the volume's really low on ABC 7. I don't know what it is. I know it's not my volume, but this is a video, I guess, of his friend who speaks out. I want to kind of play this real quick. Kind of hear what he has to say.
Tonight, more fallout from the deadly chokehold on the subway here. Late this afternoon, the NYPD put out these photos of people they say they are looking for following a protest last night in Manhattan that shut down some train service. Demonstrators have been calling for action after a Marine veteran put Jordan Neely in a chokehold, leading to his death. And tonight, we're hearing from a man who first met Neely a decade ago. Eyewitness News reporter Kimberly Richardson has the new information.
When I hear that he was yelling and ranting, the last time I checked, the penalty for ranting is not death.
He's talking about Jordan Neely. His death ruled a homicide. Video shows former Marine Daniel Penny placing the 30-year-old in a chokehold for several minutes Monday on an F train. Witnesses in the same car say right before, the victim was yelling, acting erratically, but had not become physically violent. Lance Clark tells me it's a side of Neely he never saw. He first met him about a decade ago performing at a birthday party.
The kids loved him. You thought he was Michael Jackson.
Which is what Neely, who was homeless, did on the subway. Lance often ran into him, developed a friendship, but tells me over time he noticed a change. The MJ outfit was gone and Neely was struggling.
I'd bring him to the building. I'd give him bags of clothes, whatever I can do to help. And I would tell him, look, just ring the bell. Whatever you need, just let me know.
The last time Lance saw Neely was about a year ago.
He just looked visibly in pain and hurting, where he couldn't perform. He said, listen, I'm hungry. Can someone please help me?
This is Neely just days before his death, which has sparked protests. Police arrested 13 people at this one Saturday night, a case that's expected to go to the grand jury next week. Neely, who had a history of mental illness, had been arrested more than 40 times. Lance is an attorney, and while he's not working on this case, he does expect charges to be filed against Penny, who says he never intended to harm Neely.
We put the most on society's most vulnerable people. We don't invest in our citizens. This is what happens.
Kimberly Richardson, Channel 7.
Okay, so there you go. You guys got the whole gist of that. And also, too, let me know what you guys think. Real quick, let me know what you guys think about Trump, what we're talking about with that. Let me know what you guys think about this Jordan Neely case. I'm not advocating for anybody to die. I'm not condoning his death, nothing like that. But got to understand the media knows how to tug on your heartstrings with stuff like this, because they say, like they show a picture of him like looking like Michael Jackson, like all innocent. There's actually a video that came out. Not that the character matters so much, it's the policies of New York City. But when they try to paint this guy like he was an innocent soul, he never did nothing wrong. He was doing moonwalks. Like when you start doing stuff like that, you start to realize. Mind you, there's a video of him out there now where he was in, his Michael Jackson impersonation, harassing a guy, calling his shirt, "Oh, look at your shirt, it has rainbows on it," and he called him a maggot. I think he called him a maggot. And then what did he try to do? He's trying to fight the guy, all because the guy was filming him. You know what I mean? So I don't know if the guy ate them on, whatever the case may be, but he was kind of getting out of hand. I mean, again, that probably irrelevant. It's more of a straw man. When you paint this guy as like an innocent soul, I think that does a disservice to, what was actually going on with him. This guy, 40 prior arrests. I mean, that's a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. From a guy who's been arrested more times than he likes to admit, that's a lot.
Yeah. Real quick, Sunseed said, "Gotta go. We should get together soon." Appreciate you, Sunseed. God bless you. Glad you were able to watch the show for as long as you did. That's what's up. Appreciate you. Make sure you share this out. Share this out to your friends on social media before you go.
Any bad boyfriends you've had from the past that you might want to help correct with the age of men, or likewise, men out there, if you have some bad women from the past,
yeah,
what you're trying to do.
Come on our show and let's talk about it. So, yeah, so I don't condone what happened to Jordan Neely. But when you got politicians like AOC constantly complaining about how bad the system is, even though she's a congresswoman, right? Now, many might say, well, what can she do as a congresswoman? Well, she's always seems to be on TV whenever she's making her point, about this, that, and the third. She's always on TV yelling her argument, trying to get things pushed to Congress. But it's like, what have you done for the homelessness? What have you done for the crime? You cannot start to complain about how bad the system is broken when you're part of that very same system. You got into Congress for a reason, to help your constituents. And to complain like this guy was an innocent dude, AOC, you're failing New York. You're not passing policies to help out the homeless. You're not doing nothing like that. Instead, you're complaining about the GOP. You're complaining about racism. You're complaining about white supremacy. You're complaining about how bad the system's broken, even though you're part of the system. You live in the upper echelons of New York. You're not down there riding the subway with these people. You don't know what it's like. So if you just sit here and act like, it's all the system and it's the GOP, they don't care. She tried to make a comparison where she said, it was about the Texas shooting that happened at the mall just yesterday. Hispanic guy had a big body car. I think it was like a Dodge or something like that. Gets out and then starts shooting. The moment he gets out, he starts shooting people, right? And she claimed that the GOP was saying that, now they care about mental health, but then they advocated for a guy who died with mental health. Or not advocated, but they were basically saying that, F around and find out, essentially kind of thing. You know what I mean? So I don't think anybody in the GOP was advocating for Jordan Neely to die. It was just more of like this guy was harassing people in their faces. Again, I would love to see the footage of how he was harassing people, because I have a feeling that's out there. I think it's
there would be tons of people filming that.
Yeah, all we see is this, but do we see anybody kind of like filming this guy while he's harassing people?
That's what I find suspect, Julius. We only have a couple minutes here, so I'll keep my shit concise. But like the fact that there is no footage of the situation leading up to the confrontation makes me think that they're hiding his arguably awful behavior. It's an awful situation all the way around. Mental health and whatnot is no joke. These people need help, and they're not getting it. And they're feeling desperate, and they do these kind of things. But where's the footage?
K-Train says he wasn't getting choked out for no reason, and there's probably a good chance he was on something as well. Yeah. I maybe so. I can't say I agree with Cecilia. I don't know, but I'm waiting for the footage to come out. I've been trying to find the autopsy for a long time. I've been not a long time, but I want to exaggerate it, but for days I've been looking for the autopsy, and it's not out there. And I find that interesting. that the autopsy is not there. The medical examiner says that they've ruled this a homicide, but where's the autopsy report? Why are we not?
Where's the footage? Where's the autopsy?
I know it's a HIPAA thing, but we've had autopsy for George Floyd. We've had autopsies out there.
No,
we've had autopsies for COVID when people were getting gunshot victims and being labeled as COVID, so to speak. Like
that's a whole topic for another show.
Yeah, quote unquote autopsies. But my point is that we've gotten documentation like that, and now with this, we're being told that they're ruling it as a homicide. But where is the autopsy to show whether or not it was actually compression against the neck? I'm really curious to see that. So I'm saying I'm speculating at this point. There's lots of questions to be had. Katie Ann says, she says, when the system lets people fall through the cracks, criticize the system that lets people fall through the cracks. Well, I like that. Let me read that one again for the folks in the back. When the system that lets people fall through the cracks criticizes the system that lets people fall through the cracks. So it's almost like, I'm not trying to say it's just Democrats, but Democrats do have a habit of doing this where they claim to be in politics to help, but do nothing to help, but then want to blame somebody else for not doing their part that they claim to be wanting to help. So it's crazy. K-Train also says, he says, if it was a colored guy choking him out, it would have even made the news. Here's the thing, K-Train. I think it would have. And I'm going to tell you why. Here's the angle I went towards. Let's say it was a black dude choking out a white dude and the white dude dies. Let's say a black dude gets arrested. That would be the narrative. Oh, why did he get arrested? He was just trying to save people. Exactly. He was trying to save people, and now he got arrested. You just can't win with this stuff. If it was a black dude choking out a white dude and he got arrested and trial for murder, they would say he was just trying to help people. He was trying to be a hero. That's not fair. The white dude probably on crack. But I'm telling you, the same thing that people are saying about Daniel Penny is the same thing that the left would say about the black dude if he was choking the white guy out. It's just like, it's wild, man. And I don't like that it's like that. I don't like the hypocrisy like that. Because that is a good question to ask. If the roles were reversed, we're folks still feel the same way about the system being broken.
Julius, I think that's a great cliffhanger for us because we're at the end of the show here. And we were discussing this beforehand. I can't remember the specific topic, and we won't have time to get into this show, but maybe cliffhanger for next show. I think a great angle of our show can be that we discuss these kind of interesting racial double standards or whatever the narratives they're spinning and all this BS in a way that I don't quite think you're going to ever get anywhere else on the internet. So, yeah. Age of Men, we out here.
All we've done to talk about that. Yeah, that's a good topic to talk about. So, Nick, any last words for the audience that you want to give? Anything new you got coming on? Like where can the folks follow you at? All that good stuff.
Yeah, for right now, C3 Nick. Age of Men is one of my bigger projects. In fact, if you find C3 Nick on TikTok or Instagram or any of the places, I'll be C3 Nick. You can find me there. In my bio is a link to my Discord server, which we're getting a lot of popularity going in there. It's I like to call it a digital speakeasy we're trying to create, which is the speakeasies are the places where people could like go to actually talk about real issues, like when they were plotting the revolution for America, for instance. Not that we're doing that or anything, powers that be. Nothing like that over there, okay?
We're just having fun.
Yeah, just some idiots on the internet. Don't mind us. But no, yeah, I think it's all great. I love this show. I think it's great when you and I get a chance to actually come out here and just one-on-one it. It hadn't dawned on me this was our first one because we've done so many Instagrams where it's just you and I or whatever. Yeah. That's cool. I think that's well. How do you feel about it?
I feel good, man. You also have a YouTube, man. Let me tell you about your YouTube, man. You got YouTube out there, Common Sense Culture. Look,
that's true.
I know. I mean, I haven't seen any new posts, but you still got fantastic content, man. Don't undersell that, man. You got a fantastic YouTube, Common Sense Culture. Do check out his YouTube, Common Sense Culture. Fantastic stuff, man. You're not gonna get it anywhere else but on Common Sense Culture C3 Nick's YouTube channel. So, Go subscribe there right now and like all the videos and whatnot. Yeah, this is a great show, man. Again, I like the fact that we're trying to set it up to where every half an hour we have different segments to talk about. So we can timestamp that so if folks want to see a certain part of the episode, they can watch that. I'm trying to find a way to download those segments to put them as individual clips so we make like little thumbnails and have fun with it, things like that. Like, I would love to kind of, have like Trump savage, me like like some kind of just something like that. So I definitely want to give the guys watching, all you guys watching at home, that segment as well. So not like the whole entire 2 hours you gotta watch. But that's why we have the timestamp, so you can click on which one you actually want to see. So kind of make it a little bit easier. Yeah, it's been nice, man. It's nice to do one-on-ones like this. I want to do more like this. As long as we have, I think, a segment that we can talk about each half an hour, it makes it so much easier. When you wing it, it feels like time is just moving so slow. But when you start talking about certain subjects, time moves gradually. So I like that. I'm always down for that.
And people out there, tell us what you think about the formats. See, we here at Age of Men, we're always trying to up our game and bring you better content, things that are more enjoyable. So let us know what you think about the segments. If you haven't noticed, we've been trying to divide and structure the show a little bit more. Also, I'm loving it.
The side by side, we kind of try something different. Because usually, like Nick and I were always like here, we're always doing the two squares. So let me show you guys in a second. My computer's being slow. Once it clicks that, so we're always kind of like doing this kind of side by side. I like this. This is cool. But usually our background, our Age of Men is always in the background. It's just like a black screen. So sometimes it looks like it's like an empty void, which is in space. There's nothing there. But I wanted to do the kind of side by side like this because it just gives it more. I don't know. It makes it look better. I don't know why. I thought it was pretty cool. I want to try it out. If you guys like this format, let me know. If you're down for the more square, let us know as well. Like the rectangle square, let us know. Also, on this note too, let us know what you guys think in the comments below. What do you think about Steve Harvey? Is he right for saying that women bring them to the table? Are they the table? Give us your comments on that. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on Steve Harvey's take about women and men not asking why they got to bring anything to the table. Give us your thoughts on our reaction videos that we talked about, what women want as far as how much they want their man to make. What do you guys think? For the ladies out there, how much do you want your man to make? Let us know in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. Let us know you guys' thoughts on Trump Deposition. Is this a hoax? Is this trial a waste of time? Is there something there? Should we be more wary of women that have maybe something was done to them by Trump? We don't know. Let us know in the comments below. To me, I think this is all just bullcrap. I think that there's nothing there. They've been trying to get Trump for a lot of things, and it never works out for some reason for these guys. Or they keep on trying, and Trump is just all the bullshit is just bouncing off. So give us your thoughts on that as well. Do you guys think that being a celebrity does come with a lot of flirtation? So give us your thoughts on that. Let us know your thoughts on Jordan Neely. Of course, we don't condone him being choked out, but what do you guys think about somebody who's going around harassing people and things like that? Do you think that not enough is being done when it comes to policies, especially Democratic policies of homelessness and criminality? So give us all your thoughts on that. We appreciate you guys for watching. Do hit that like button and make sure you guys subscribe and please comment below. It definitely helps out the algorithm. We want to be pushed to people's recommendations. People can find us and watch us and appreciate our content. So if you guys want to support us in that way, do support us in that way. If you want to be a guest on the show, email us or DM us actually on Instagram, Age of Men Podcast, and make sure you guys go follow us on Age of Men Podcast on Instagram, C3 Nick on Instagram, Stay with Julius on Instagram as well. We appreciate you guys, man. God bless you guys. Real quick, Katie Ann says Age of Men mailbox segment. I know we should have that where people kind of give us questions and things like that, and we answer. That'd be really cool. I'm down with that. Give us all of that. All that great stuff. You can DM us on Instagram. All that good stuff. We'd love to hear from you guys, your thoughts, your comments, what we can improve on, all that good stuff. Try and get rid of this. I can't point to it, but that StreamYard in the corner right there, we're going to get rid of that. Your support would definitely help us out. If you want to support us as well, our Cash App is down below. Yeah, I'm trying to point to it somehow, some way, but our Cash App is down below. If you want to help us out, want to get rid of the StreamYard logo. Shout out to StreamYard, them appreciate them for us using their platform. But I want to get rid of that logo and put the Age of Men logo there. So appreciate you guys. K-Train stays on the phone for a bit. Was on the phone call for a bit, but I'll go back and watch some of what I missed. Otherwise, enjoy the fellow. Thank you, K-Train. Appreciate that. And Katie Ann, appreciate you said great show, you guys. Keep it up. Thank you. We really do appreciate that. Do share this out. Tell your friends, your family, your coworkers, your acquaintances, everybody, and share this out on your social media platforms and tag our names that you see right here in the corner. We appreciate you guys. God bless, and we will see you guys next Sunday. Have a good one. Take care, guys.
Whoa.
It's the Age of